Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Committed and Covered,
Yes.
All Things Marriage and Family Talks. Welcome.
Hey.
And I see that we have Miss Kimberly Russell with us. We can't believe it that this is your first time with us with Committed and Covered, but we won't talk about you too bad.
Ellen.
We have Ellen and Monica. So welcome, guys. Welcome. And we also see Manitzia, who was with us earlier this morning for Sabbath School. So welcome. So today, guys, there's no co-host. It's just me and my boo.
Really?
My boo. That's
Just
right.
us two.
It's just us two.
Awesome.
And so today, our topic, we're going to talk about resolutions.
Resolutions. I like that word. Resolutions.
Okay,
Do
why
I
you like
that
it?
word? Yes, I like that word because in the dictionary, like if you look up that word, resolution, it's basically saying you're resolute, right?
Okay.
And you have your mind made up towards something. You know, that's what the definition says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make your mind up towards something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we actually get started and into the topic and talking about resolution, guys, I have an icebreaker. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
What are you wearing?
Oh.
That is nice.
Thank you. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, you can see
That's right.
it. Yeah.
For the Family Ministries theme,
Okay.
2024, our theme is Stronger Together.
I like
And you
that.
tell them why Stronger Together?
Yeah, stronger together. You know, even the Bible tells us that two better than one.
That's right.
How can one keep warm without someone else? And even the chains that you link together, they're stronger together, you know.
And stronger together with our families.
Stronger together with our families. You know, when we all put our resources together, and we say our resources, says the prayer of a fervent man or woman availeth much. So with that, we together are stronger.
That's right.
Apart, we're not as strong.
No.
And so God has asked us as a body of believers to believe together and be stronger together. And so I just like the idea of stronger together.
That's right. And if you are single, stronger together in Christ.
that's
also
right.
as a couple, stronger together in Christ. However your family system is, stronger together than apart.
Yeah, good evening, Janelle. Good evening, Sharon. Good evening, Kimberly. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in with us, our OUC online family. We are back with you. We were here with you this morning. Guys, the temperature has not changed. It's still about 15 degrees.
That's right.
Here
That's
in
right.
Huntsville, Alabama. But we are here with you tonight.
But stronger together, we're warmer
Stronger
together
together.
too.
That's right. That's right. And remember, this is Committed and Covered, all things marriage and
Family.
yes.
talks.
And remember, guys, if it's your first time here, I am Mr. Right.
No. And I am Mrs. Right.
That's right. That's
so
right.
remember that.
Yeah.
And also remember, guys, as we say earlier during the Sabbath School lesson, that this is not a monologue. This is a dialogue.
Yes.
So also please post your comments, post your statements. And as we get into this, and thank you, Prince KD. He says he
Yes.
loves the shirts. Where can we
we
get
get
one?
one?
So you know what? I wasn't going to say anything this episode, but we will be having some activities, some challenges where we will be giving away some of these T-shirts. So
Yeah.
just stay tuned. You have to watch Committed and Covered
Yeah.
to know how to win one or two.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just stay tuned for that. But we will be having that.
And not
So
only
thank
win
you.
one, but we do want to have it available where we can order. You guys
can
can
order
order it
these
as
too,
well.
yeah.
So our shirt producer, we have to talk with our shirt producer
Yes.
to get the logistics together to let you guys know how you can order one if you'd like one. That's
right. And our email address, we have a new email address, guys, and it is Family Ministries
Yes. Yes.
at oucfamilyministries.com.
Hey, Jackie, we appreciate that. We wanted to make sure you guys were paying attention, right? Because we're one, right? So underneath me is Dr. Nicole Taylor, and underneath my wife is Dr. Malcolm Taylor. I love it. Some of us, we look at things and they're like, hey.
You're
it's
paying
not-
attention.
Yeah, paying attention. So we just wanted to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah,
But
and
yes, but we
typically
are
I
one.
sit here
Yeah.
for Sabbath school, and he sits here.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
But-
So our mixologist, our IT man, he could take it down, switch it up if he, but we're stronger together. We're one. But go ahead, babe.
Okay, so the icebreaker question that I have. So guys, I want you to listen to this. So name a resolution that you were committed to on January the 1st of this year. And then 2 weeks into the new year, man, I done fell off too far.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to just start next year.
Next year, not next
pick
month.
back up next week or next month. But you just said, I'm going to start off 2025. I mean, because typically, guys, to be real, that happens. We will have New Year's resolutions, and after 2 weeks, that we fall off. So, babe,
Okay.
what's one that you've had before?
Name a resolution. Okay, one I had before. Honestly,
And
I'll be honest.
you fell off 2 weeks. Tell the truth.
This year, I didn't do a resolution in terms of the traditional.
I just said period.
Okay, it's always losing weight. Working out, losing weight. Those things that can't be a couch potato. Those things, kind of hard. For me. But that was not my resolution this year. But in times past, that has been one. Well, what about you?
I will say I'm a night owl. And so in the past, my New Year's resolution has been, I am going to go to bed earlier. And then I fall off 2 weeks later.
Okay.
2 weeks later.
All right.
Because I do my best work at night at home up.
Well, many said was y'all's resolution not to go to bed angry. Maybe.
That's a good one. She's asking us.
Yeah, or if that was yours as well, which is a good one.
No, she said, was y'all's resolution not to go to bed
Me
angry?
and you.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, it's funny. I saw, it was like one of those funny style commercials. And the commercial was, don't go to bed angry. And it's funny. They go to the guy and he's like this. He's like been up all night. Get it? Don't go to bed angry. Okay. He's been up like all night like this. Yeah.
Well, I would have to say we've never made that as a New Year's resolution. But over the years, being married 25 years, going on 26, we've just gotten better with communicating and not trying to go to bed mad. And that's just to be honest with you. But that has never really been a major issue. So we've never made that a resolution.
Definitely. We haven't, because it hasn't been a big issue. But I see Lorna, she said to drink more water.
That has been one for us too, to drink more water. Still working on that.
Yeah. Yes. Ellen wanted to read more. That's great,
Okay. But we hope we answered that for you.
Yeah, Minnie, that's out of
She said it was just out
curiosity.
of curiosity. That's a good question.
But we're human now.
That's right.
We're human now. So we're not immune from being heated at times.
Right.
Yes. So we would never like not keep it real.
Yes.
Right. So yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about we're talking about resolutions.
Yes.
But because we are family ministry leaders, we wanted to really talk about more about creating family resolutions for the family.
Ooh.
Because we're talking about, of course, our theme for the year is Stronger Together. So we wanted to talk about creating family resolutions. And again, as I mentioned before, there's different types of families, so, and even if you're single, as an individual, God is your father. You can create resolutions with him as we can with our families. And so that's what we're going to talk about more so. And
even if you're single, the Stronger Together mindset is still there, because Stronger Together is who you have bonded with, who you bond with now. Family, friends, or whomever it is always stronger together. Right. Even in the workplace, for those of us who work in a place where it's not just you, it's stronger together. When you're doing those projects that need to have a deadline to them, it's stronger together.
That's right.
And especially when we talk from a spiritual aspect, always stronger together.
That's right. And Eartha says exercise, being still, and self-care.
Yes.
Well, self-care is definitely important, and exercising and being still is definitely important. So those are all some good ones too. And welcome, Denise, and happy Sabbath too.
Yeah, we Huntsville with us, cold Huntsville.
But we know sometimes when we are wanting to make those New Year resolutions, and because of our schedules, if you are busy with work, church activities, just with your family, you have kids, or even if you don't have children, sometimes when we have more responsibilities, it can be hard for us to try to create those or have the capacity sometimes to want to make a personal change or just in our lives or make that resolution.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about stronger together. So when we talk about creating family resolutions, it's easier to do it together as one than it is to do it alone to get something. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, kind of going with that same thing that we're talking about, because when we try to do things by ourselves, it can be one of those things where there's no, we don't find the greatest support, right? Mm-hmm. And then the feedback, it's always great to get healthy feedback from someone who is on our team, who wears our jersey,
That's right.
who wants the best for us. Because usually when we're solo and we try to do it alone, we don't get that proper feedback.
And that's even relating to when we talk about exercise, right?
Yeah.
It's some people can do things alone.
Yeah.
That's great. They're introverts, they can do it.
Yeah.
But for some of us, when we have that community, that fellowship of others, and I want to use exercise as one, because typically when I do it with a group of ladies that, I'm actually in a group, an exercise group, it's easier because you have someone to say, hey, get up, come on, let's go. We can do this. You can do this, Nicole. Let's do this. So they're pushing you and then when you see them posting and I got my exercise in, I was like, oh, let me get up. Let me get up and quit being lazy.
Yeah.
So that community of women, and I'm speaking specifically on exercise, that does help us. So just to kind of bring in my point, when we do things with a community of others, and that can help us to stay focused and to push us with, if we're making exercise as a New Year's resolution.
Well, you got to let them in on what you were saying. So you guys are with a health ministry group here at Oakwood University Church, and you and a group of ladies, you guys run and walk several days a week. So,
right.
Yes. You were just saying that doing it together. Really.
Right. And on those days where we can't get out, we have a Zoom group and we do it and, we work out in our home. So it's that, like Kimberly Jacob says, it's that accountability piece, and Earth is saying that accountability partner. And so whatever it is that your New Year's resolution is, again, we're talking about it's better when you're stronger together and you're doing something. And Simeon says solutions equals resolution, solving and resetting for the betterment of mankind. Yes. Thank you for that.
And what you were talking about in terms of exercise, working out, I've been in the scenarios with a personal trainer, and you will get pushed harder. Like you don't think you can do that 5th push-up or that 10th push-up or that 50th push-up. But with someone there encouraging you, pushing you through, you find yourself going further and further beyond the boundaries that you set for yourself. Yes. So that's a good one. So we have these boundaries that we feel like we can't go past. Ooh, yes. But when we have somebody who's there with us, who wants the best for us as well, who's been there, possibly a little more in shape, they can push us through those boundaries that we set or those walls that we think we can't get through, And
I have a good example for that.
Okay.
I never was a runner. I had no interest in running. I was, I did everything else. But when I joined the a group with Chantel Wise, who started this group, and she is a runner, an advocate runner. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start running with you guys, you ladies, and I'm going to run 5 miles. I just want to do a 5K. That's all I want to do. So we would get out here and I would go running. And every time I beat how far I went the first time, she was like, okay, so next time you're going to have to beat that time. I was like, really? What? So if I ran 10 minutes, she said, you're going to have to run straight 15 minutes. So long story short, I ended up training for a 5K within, I think it might have been 6 weeks. I hope I'm saying this correctly, but it was short. And she asked, did I want to sign up for a 10K? And I was like, what? I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll run 5 of the, 3 point something for the 10K. But guess what? I ended up running the 10K, which is 6.1 or 6.2 straight. And she was there to push me. I mean, every time I turned a corner, I was like, I still got to run some more. I'm going to stop. I'm going to quit. But she came back after she finished. She was like, come on, you got to keep running. And then it was another lady running with me, and it was our first. And what you're saying is that accountability and that push. And I was able to run a 10K versus a 5K.
Yeah, and that's kind of like we're bringing in, guys, the concept of the resolutions that we make, but then the idea of being stronger together, right? So for you guys to follow along with us, for some of you guys who just jumped in, our theme for this year for the marriage ministry, the family ministry at Oakwood University Church, we're already in the Reset series, but for the family side of things, we're stronger together this year.
That's right.
And we can do things stronger together. And what we're talking about this evening are the resolutions that we make. And inside of those resolutions, we're talking about, hey, we can be stronger when we have somebody there with us.
Yes.
What you said, the accountability.
An accountability piece, and we're stronger together.
Yeah.
And so that leads us into talking about, as a family, a family who makes goals together can keep goals together. And so we want to talk about that, how as family members we can feel engaged, we can have those common objectives, and, those objectives we can acknowledge and handle together, that because we're creating these, I would say, resolutions or goals together as a family.
Well, you know what? We'll let them into some of the things that we used to do. Are we at that part?
We are. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so we when our children started to get a little older and older and older. And when we say older, we're talking about around the adolescent phase,
But we started when they were younger.
We did.
We started when they were
so
younger.
we started, when they were younger. So about 5, would you say?
When they were old enough to understand.
Yes. And right.
Yes.
So
understand and right.
Yeah. Grade school age. Let's put it that way. So at the new year, Nicole kicked that off. At the new year, we would say, hey, let's sit together and
have a family meeting
and set out some of our goals, some of our resolutions as a family for the new year. And we started doing that.
Yes, we actually started out doing a family mission statement. Yeah. And my husband was really, I introduced it, but he was really good at, okay, let's create this mission statement. What are some things as a family that we want to include in this mission statement? So let's talk about some adjectives, some verbs, like what, as a family, what's important to us. And so as we did that, we created our mission statement. And so, and basically that mission statement was, we're going to follow Christ first. And as a family, we are going to spend quality time together. We're going to worship, and we're going to do things together, something on those lines. And then the conversation piece would go, anything outside of this mission statement that if it attacks us, or if it's outside of this mission statement, then it's not what we need.
Yes.
It doesn't apply to our family.
Now, with anything, guys, you have to really be intentional about it. And we definitely try to do that at the beginning of the year. But it's amazing, when you do that, year after year, although you may not revisit it during the year that you start it, but that becomes a routine at the top of your year. I mean, especially for those of us who are out there and you have your younger children, they're at that budding age where they're school age now, excited about learning how to read and write. And that's when you can really, really catch them in excitement. So beginning of the year, they just kind of got this reading and writing thing down. Let's write down what we want to do for this year, and you can really get an idea of what's in your child's mind, their mindset.
Yes. And really early on, we did the mission statement, but then we also created goals and like a prayer list. We did. So our kids early on, they would say, oh, well, we always encourage put God first. That's the given. But they would also put things down like, I want to make good grades. And then we would talk to them and what are some responsibilities? And he's like, oh, keep my room clean. Yeah. Things cute, like that. Stuff. So it started out like that. Or of course, on their prayer list, they would say, well, I want to get this game, this whatever current game that was out
what
there.
they didn't get for Christmas.
Right. And so what I would do is take those and fold them up and tuck them under the bed. And then the following year, into the new year, we would pull them out and we would read over the mission statement again and ask ourselves, did we follow our mission statement? Did you do the things that you said you wanted to do?
Yeah.
What are some things that the Lord blessed us with? Did he bless you with the items that you wanted? Whatever we had on our prayer list. And guys, I'm telling you, we could check a couple of things off, a few things off that God, just in his providential care blessed us with. Yeah. So the reason we're talking about this is because it's just showing the importance of, as a family, things that you can do together when you're if you're going to set resolutions. And Kimberly says, mission statement holds family to what is important and keeps the family from overscheduling and being overwhelmed with external activities. Yes, Kimberly, you've said it. Yes. And then Eartha says, yes, a family prayer list. And Ellen says a creed. And so these are things, because we know what a mission statement is. It's to help for our family, it was to help keep us in line, like keep us together as what is our mission? What is our goal?
Yeah, what you said about at the end of the year, going into the new year, we will pull it out and read it. So guys, you would think to yourself, wow, that's a whole year from now. But time moves so quickly, because just think if you did that in 2023, you would you would have read your 2023 statements and goals already, making your one for 2024. So, time goes by so quickly, and then you can archive them. And especially if your kids, when they were little, wrote certain things, and they can go back and look. I don't know if we archived ours.
I think they're somewhere in a box.
Oh, wow.
They're in a box.
That would be great to go back and
But we
look.
did do this with our kids through middle school, but by the time they got to high school, we probably, to be honest, did it once. But we definitely like to have family meetings to where we get together, the check-ins, to just say, hey guys, these are some things that we need to discuss that we're noticing, whether it was good or whether it was bad, to give good affirmations, or just to have those check-ins to see where each of us were mentally. Because that's especially when COVID happened and our kids weren't able to socialize, we were very concerned about making sure, and we still do that to this day, like, how are you mentally? They'll say, oh, good, fine. We get quick, that. But but mentally, how are you? So it's just important that we do those check-ins with our kids, and that's family meeting. And those are some things that, I have here listed that, sometimes you may say, well, what can we do as a family, like setting these goals and things like that. And guys, I know you may say prayer is the first thing. And you've heard Pastor Snell talk about it, us talk about it. Yeah. As a family, as a married couple, you definitely should be praying together always. Yes. And then, of course, as a family, pray together. You're right. And stick to it. Stick to it. And we appreciate some of the comments you guys are dropping in there. What Kimberly said, mission statement always reminds the family of their value systems and moral codes. The moral codes. And that's right. Yeah. And shout out to our brother Kurt. Nugent, who's in with us. And shout out to our producer tonight, Miles Taylor. He's the man tonight. My baby boy. But even like what Kimberly Jacobs said, this is very important. That's right. It's very important for families, because you may have to have that conversation, like, okay, this is our mission statement, but seem like we've been shifting lately, and we need to come back to what we have set for ourselves. And our kids are special. For those of us who have young kids, teenage kids, young adult kids, or even adult kids, some of them you can come to with this project, they love it, all in, no matter what age. Then some of them you come to them with this type of project saying, hey, as a family, stronger together, let's do some things to be resolute during this new year. It could be kind of like, nah, that's not what I want to do. That's too slow for us. That's not cool. But if we can encourage our kids still, because when we start putting our thoughts to paper,
it actually gives us all even a bird's eye view into even our own selves.
Right.
You know, when you, because that's what journaling is all about.
Basically what it is.
When you journal your thoughts, like it really, really, really like gives you an idea like, wow, I didn't know I was thinking that way at the beginning of 2024.
Yes.
I didn't know that's what I was looking for, you know, and you might even go back and look and read, I found it.
Yes.
Or you can go back and look and read, you know, I didn't find it, but I'm going to work on it in this new year.
Right. And then even reassess, you know, like if, for example, our kids would say, well, I cleaned up my room sometimes. I didn't clean it up all the time, but that's something I'm going to work on better. So that's all of us. We can reassess. And then Lorna says praying together and eating meals together, doing mental wellness checkups. Yeah. And Lorna, I think I'm saying that, Lauren, you hit on some things that I actually have here on the list, you know, definitely, you know, praying together and also having devotion.
Yes.
Devotion. That was a must with us, with our kids, having that morning devotion. Yeah. You know, even if they were half asleep, we still had morning devotion. We had evening devotion, and we had family devotion. Yeah. And definitely as they, you know, get closer to those teenage years, you know, you do see a shift where do we really have to do this? Yeah. Yes, we really do have to do this. So
especially if it's in the morning.
That's right. So we have to encourage our kids, and sometimes it's not an option.
Yeah.
In our household, it wasn't an option.
It was not. Well, yeah, we didn't make it an option. We just did it, and our kids didn't. But it, like one of you guys, that was Josette that said encourage our kids. That's like an encouragement, you know, for your kids when you do those things together. And like for me, I didn't necessarily appreciate that growing up because my parents made sure we had a form of devotion in the morning. We did kind of slow down when we got older, of course, because everyone kind of went their separate ways. But as an adult, I look back on that, and that was very healthy for us to have that morning
devotion. Yeah, starting the family's day off right, you know, so that when those attacks come,
they're coming.
You know, we have on our armor, and Lorna said also eating meals together. Yeah. So that is one of the things that I can honestly say growing up, my mother, she was married, but then also a single mother. Okay. And when she would cook dinner, that everybody had to be at the dinner table. That was not an option. And even as we, you know, were teenagers in high school, and so when we started having kids, and even just us, I was a stickler about, can we sit at the dinner table and eat? And I didn't like the TV on. I just wanted it to just be us as a family, and we sit together. And so we do that with our family now. And even as they became teenagers and like, oh, well, the game is on, can we sit in here? And I'm like, can we sit at the dinner table?
Yeah, and I must admit, that was something that we necessarily did not do. And Sister Taylor had to really, really, really like say, hey, this is what I really want. And when I saw, for any men who are out there, when I saw that's what my wife really, really wanted, I gave in. I'm like, yeah, let's sit at the table and eat. Because, you know, we all come from a household and we did things differently. And we just would get our plates and eat where we could because it was, you know, more of us in the home. So
yes, Kimberly, dinner table is sacred.
It is.
But also what we realized too is that was the time where our kids, especially when they were younger, you could get a lot of things out of them. They didn't know if they were telling on an adult or a teacher or whomever, even their friends. That's when we got the most information out of them at the dinner table. Yeah. And then it was the time where you're catching up with your day. How were things? How are things going? So, you know, and then I didn't like the cell phones at the table either. True. And I still don't really, to be honest with you. But even today, even as we have 2 young adults and one adult child, I still to this day, if we can eat dinner together, I love that. I love that. I just think that's, like you say, that's a sacred time. And it's just a time to, you know, as a family, we're sitting here, we're sharing and we're talking, you know. I truly believe in that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things, it's a must. You can make it an option, right? And, you know, what we're saying it's a must because it really helps out the family system.
Right. And another, you have something?
No, go ahead.
And then another one that I have is that make out time for like family fun game time. Family fun. I mean, just you.
Now they're into games.
Yeah. I'm a game queen.
Yes.
And my sister-in-law. And so, but the family loves it.
Yeah.
Even like the young adults, the older, some of our nieces and nephews that are in their 30s. We love games, and that's just a time, again, for you to spend that quality time. And these are things that if you're not doing, these are just suggestions.
Yeah.
These are just suggestions that you can incorporate and add to your family routine. Because how I look at it is when your kids leave, when they leave your home, it's nice when they come home and they say, "Oh, guys, let's have game night.
Yeah.
Let's do this." Something that they may complain about at first, but they end up really liking it and loving it and want to do those things. So whatever it is that you and your family enjoy doing, think about those things. And when you think about those things, come up with a family fun night, even if it's just 30 minutes, however long. But that's your quality time, your uninterrupted quality time.
That's right. Yeah, guys. Oh, and Teresa, we love you too.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not the game kind of person all the time. I mean, they can play those games like all night long. But for those of us who aren't really like, that's not your thing, what we have to do, guys, is this. You have to then tell yourself, hey, to go along and get along, let me just be a part of it. And, at least try to talk yourself into playing 1, 2, 3, even 4 games so that you can be a part of it, because the memory shouldn't be. That's
what it's about. The
Dad
memories.
didn't play or mom didn't play,
right.
but we all played, and sister didn't play, brother didn't play, but you wanted to be that we all played and had a good time with it, not like begrudgingly, like, I don't want to do it.
That's right.
Bring everything down.
And as Eartha says, fun, entertainment, popcorn, yellow strip, smile. Yeah. Get your snacks, get all those things. And, because as you were stating, those are memories.
Yes.
Memories that you will always have, and that you can always talk about and bring up. And Jackie says, I heard long ago that teenagers who ate dinner with their families regularly engaged in less risk-taking behaviors. Oh, Jackie, that is a good point, and that is so true. And what we used to try to encourage our kids, because we didn't allow them to spend the night stay over anyone's home, invite your friends over, because when they would invite their friends over, as parents, we could get to know who they're hanging around, put a name with a face, and to see like what kind of environment you are in with your friends and like these personalities and who they are. So, we always encouraged our kids to invite their friends over because we know who we are.
Yeah.
So,
and we wanted our house to be the hub.
Yeah, the hub for our kids.
Yeah, we wanted our house to be the hub, and because we knew that everyone's safe at our house, so.
And then also, if you like to travel, go on more adventures. And that adventure can be not just traveling, because we know now finances, things are gas prices and things, but we like to travel as a family. And my husband has always, there's sometimes when I would say, oh, can it just be us two, just us? He would say, what about the kids?
Yeah,
he was like, we need to bring the kids. He was weak. He was weak to that. But mommy's like, mommy need just a little break. But I love my babies.
But here's what's funny: we need to tell them now that you could say we're basically empty nesters, but. Now when we go somewhere, we're like, it's just us, and our kids are like, really? Oh, it's like that? It's like that? And that's what's so funny, because, they're basically adults. Our youngest is adults. 18, and they're like,
Yeah, but well,
it depends on what's on their schedule.
Yeah, what's on their schedule. But it's nice to have family trips, but also alone time with your spouse. That's important too.
Yes.
But we've always believed in that, having quality time with each other, but definitely that quality time with our family. So whatever that is, if you can travel, or if it's just going to the park together, hiking, walking together, or if you go to the movies, just some type of fun entertainment, guys. Because again, I am a firm believer, once your kids are of age and they start, being able to hang out and drive and go off to college, you will have gained those memories and those moments, and you won't feel as if, oh, I didn't have enough time.
Yeah, because you can't get it back. You can't get those times back. And we even look at the pictures of our children when they were babies, and it's like, wow, we wish we had like 10 minutes of that, but you just can't get it back,
Right.
But you can definitely have great memories.
Right. And then even couples, or if you're single, work on a financial goal. That can be a resolution. If everybody has some type of financial obligation.
Yeah.
So working on that, you're stronger together. When you can come and talk about finances and work on that, whether it's paying off a bill or saving to purchase something major that you want to purchase together. So that's another resolution or goal that you can set with your family, and even with the kids. They get money from aunts, uncles, family members, or if they have a part-time job, teaching them how to save and save towards things that they're interested in doing.
And, and we're talking about resolutions. We're talking about being stronger together as family members, and then the things that we put on us or put in play.
Right.
We should make it to where, starting off, if there's something that's hard for you, I know you said like single or even married, paying certain bills and stuff like that, paying them off, make it easier for us. If you gain 50 or more pounds last year, don't put it on yourself like I need to lose it all
That's
this
right.
year, or I need to lose it all this month. It's 1 pound at a time, a half pound at a time, if there is a half pound at a time, because there are ounces. But what we want to do is make it to where it's manageable. The things that we want to be resolute about, the things that we want to say, you know what, Lord, I want to be basically all in on it. Even like your study life, your when I say your study life, your Bible study life, your prayer life. Sometimes we look at it like, oh, I've got to be this, Moses-like character to where I'm 40 days and 40 nights. But on the realistic side, our attention span is short.
That's right.
And we just can't pray more than 30 seconds. We can't read the Bible more than 5 minutes. We can't.
That's right.
There's certain things, and I don't want to say we can't, like it's impossible, but we feel like we can't because of just whatever may be in front of us. But we just start, and that's the thing, like when I first started reading the Bible, guys, I didn't read a whole chapter, I read a couple verses, and I would take a pencil and mark the verse. I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it. But now, guys, I can be in the Word like almost 2 hours just straight and not even realize it. But starting out, that for me, no. So, we really have to be realistic with ourselves.
Yeah, be realistic.
Understanding where we are, but each little step, more and more. And with our children, the time that we spent with our children, it just became addictive. Like, we need to spend more time. This is great. Let's do it,
And of course, sometimes you may have resistance with your kids as they get older, especially teenage, when they become teenagers. But I remember if my kids got on punishment where we would take their cell phones, and do you know what? They would come in our room, want to watch a movie.
Yeah, when we would take technology.
we take the technology
together.
and we spent more time together.
Sure
and
did.
I remember our daughter used to say, I'm glad you all took my phone because I needed that. So, that quality time is a must.
It is.
And then Margaret, I like the comment. She says, carve out couples time, the kids leave and build lives of their own. Keep your marriage ablaze. That's right. And that's what we should all try to do. So, and it reduces divorce when kids leave home. Yes, because you really know each other, right?
And then you're looking at each other like, what are we going to do?
That's right.
Yeah, and I like what Kimberly said. She said she took it 1 pound at a time as well, and she's down 55 pounds.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Clap
yes.
Yeah.
And then a couple of more that I want to go into is start practicing gratitude. As a family, it's so much that's going on, and it's always something that we really can complain about.
Yes.
But with so many things happening, we need to start being able to wake up with an attitude of gratitude and, just being thankful for the things that God has blessed us with. And if we woke up this morning and, and that's something that, as a family, even if you're going through something, teaching, encouraging each other, like, what, this may be going on, but thank God. I thank God anyway. And teaching your kids and just like being an example, So again, we're talking about, as we've entered 2024, resolutions that we like to make, or even if you want to call them goals. But these are some things that as a family, and we said that families can be different, but that we're giving suggestions that, what has worked for us, and not saying that it works for everyone, but just, as family ministry leaders, just share, as a family, these are some things that are important,
Yeah. And, guys, the most important gift that we're given, right? Of course, Christ dying on the cross for us, but he's given us time. Right. And it's how we manage that time. We don't get that time back, but it's how we manage it. And even if we've mismanaged time in the past, we can make it up in our minds to manage our time properly going forward. And that is a lifelong process on how we manage our time. I've mismanaged time, just being honest with you guys. But I try to manage my time properly now. Yes. I really do.
And the last one that I want to bring up is, as a family, unplugging from the cell phones. And I'm guilty of it. We all can be guilty of it. But there has to be some family time where, if you're spending time, just put the cell phones down. Yeah. What now they have the silent notification. When you text people, that they got the silent notifications on. But it's important. I mean, we should be able to unplug from our cell phones. I mean, if my kids are with me, my husband's with me, I have family and friends, it can wait, especially when you're trying to spend quality time together, because cell phones can be a distraction. And definitely if you're conversing, and you got your phone. So unplug, guys. Make that one a part of your New Year's resolution or your goals, to unplug from the cell phone some.
Yeah. All right. So, what you said some awesome things.
Okay.
Right?
Well, thank you.
So kind of as we begin to land this plane and end our show, I personally didn't really make any resolutions this year. I'm like, Lord, I'm just in your hands. So I was going to ask you, but go ahead.
I didn't make any New Year's resolution, but I did say towards the end of last year that I want to do better with, I've always journaled. Okay. And, throughout journaling, writing down the blessings and the praises. Yeah. But I don't do it every day. Okay. And I did say to myself that I'm going to pick back up with journaling, every day, writing down, being grateful, even if it's just, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Because sometimes you can tend to forget when you're going through things. But I just really, because I am so grateful, I really believe that, that's something that I want to get back to on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And for me, guys, and we're getting to know each other, and you guys have seen us. But for me, I didn't make a resolution this year. I kind of stopped doing that maybe several years ago. But in my mind for 2024, that's around, what am I looking for in 2024, right? But anyway, for me, and I'm honest, guys, and this is not a cliche to try to sound like super spiritual and all this, but this world is just like gone mad, right? There's so many things happening, and the devil just really wants to take our peace. He wants to take our mind. Like what the book of John tells us, in chapter 10, he's the enemy who comes in to steal, to kill, and destroy. And God has given us life and more abundantly. So my thing is, like what Paul said, I'm working my salvation out with fear and trembling. And I just want to get closer and closer to Christ, because there's some things that my wife and I, we try to do together, and faith kind of gets a little weak sometimes. I wouldn't say weak, but like we're trying to do some things with our home, and it's kind of like, well, Lord, we don't see where certain things are coming from, but then he makes it happen.
That's right.
Kind of like manna in the wilderness, funds might be a little short, but God just makes it happen.
That's right.
So I'm like, Lord, I just want to be at the place where my faith is where, faith is ever growing, but I just want to just be into you. Mm-hmm. And almost like Jesus's mother Mary at the wedding, when she said they were out of wine, and she just said, whatever he says, do it. Mm-hmm. Right. So I just want to be at the point, y'all, for 2024 and moving forward, like whatever God says, done. If I ask for it and God says no or doesn't answer, okay, I'm good.
That's right.
I'm good. If I ask for it and he gives it to me, Lord, thank you. On to the next one, because you are an awesome God. I just, for me, guys, that's where I want to be, and health challenges come. That's right. Losing loved ones are around us, lose even people we don't even know. At our church, we have a huge attrition rate, but it's with death. That's right. And it's kind of like, Lord, I just want to be so close to you that it's not that I don't care, but it's that I know you care so much about me and us that I'm good.
That's right.
Yeah, and you coming back again, and I just can't wait to get off this spinning ball of a earth that's just out of its mind. So that's where I am, guys. I know I took a little long on that, and I don't want to sound cliche-ish.
It was on you.
But it's just for real, guys. And that's something I pray for morning, noon, and night. Lord, save me from me. Because that's who our worst enemy is, yourself. Did y'all know that? Did you? Yes. Did you know your worst enemy is yourself? I know we can think of some raunchy people, and even the devil, we can put him at the top of the list. But your worst enemy is yourself, because that's who you're fighting against to make this thing work for salvation.
That's right. Yeah. He preaching.
Kimberly, you're having unrealistic faith. So that's for me, guys. That's where I am in 2024, okay. Lord. Let me not be my worst enemy. Let me be my best friend through you.
Well, I'm there with you, because together we're stronger together.
Stronger together.
I want that too.
Stronger together.
Include me in that too.
We're going to do that. Please. Yeah. So, this faith walk is individual and collective. So we can't come to the collective faith walk in pity party mode, right? Now, we can do it sometimes, and my wife and I, we strengthen each other. But if I'm always coming to her down and out, that's going, hey.
Like Houston, there's a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem, Houston, right? So my prayer is to kind of have it together most of the time.
That's right, babe.
Yes.
But I also like the part, I like Kimberly, she quoted in here Pastor Snell's reset sermon, Kimberly Russell.
All right.
And she says, Pastor Snell says, write it down.
Yes.
So we can recite, rehearse, remember. Mm-hmm. And that is so true, guys. So as we prepare to end, you want to make sure that whatever your New Year's resolution is or was, it's okay. It's your prerogative to change it. Make sure whatever your family structure is, that you want to incorporate some New Year's resolutions that's attainable, reachable, and that you can accomplish it together with your family, because again, as a family, we're stronger together. And I just would like to say this to my women, to my sisters out there. Yes, sisters. Sometimes we our weight fluctuates, we pick up weight, we lose weight, but turning 50, I've said to myself, you know what, I am going, a good friend said this to me once, to love yourself where you are until you can get to where you want to be.
Hey,
and so don't stress about it.
It's more you to hug.
That's right. Don't stress about it. Just, what you need to do. Yes. And when you're ready to do those things, which is all of us, we will do that. And so, but I also want to highlight before we close out, guys, with family ministries, we have singles ministry, men's ministry, women's ministry. And so we want to highlight a couple of activities that we have coming up for those that are here in the Huntsville area. If you're not and you are able to attend, do so.
Yeah.
So if I can have our IT guy to put up our flyer for women's ministry, we have a fun-filled weekend, guys. Women's ministry kickoff. It starts on February, where it's the empowerment session that will start on February. This was just an event that was supposed to happen this weekend.
Yeah, that's
but
the January
unfortunately,
21.
That was
The
this
weather.
weekend, the weather.
Yeah.
But February
It's the next
2nd
one.
through the 4th, we're going to have a women's kickoff Friday night. We're going to pamper, ourselves a little bit. Saturday, we're going to have Pastor Lola Moore Johnson, who is going to bring the word. And then we're going to have an evening with later on that day with the pink couch. And we're going to have a panel discussion. And then Sunday, we're going to have Women Fight Back, where we're having a group to come in and teach us some safety and techniques to help us. So make sure that you tune in for that. And
all right. So because we had the other flyer up, and our IT guy is awesome, but that one was for this weekend.
Yeah, that was for this
which we had to
weekend.
cancel due to the weather.
Right.
So the one that you're speaking of is the first weekend in February?
February the 2nd through the 4th.
Okay, February 2nd through the 4th, and this is for the ladies.
It's for the ladies,
And
women's ministry.
Is it at the church or
It's
is it?
going to be here at Oakwood University
Okay.
Church. So make sure you come, and but you have to register, guys. If you follow us, if you receive the e-newsletter, go on there because registration is required. We also have a Facebook page. Our leader, Kim Roper, and it's called Women of Purpose.
Okay.
And so make sure you go on. You can register that way. So
Now let
check
me
it
ask you
out.
this: is it going to be streamed?
Unfortunately, will not be
Oh,
streamed.
it's because
guys.
it's an event.
It's an
and
event.
you have
It's
to show
a
up.
weekend event, so you have to show up and you got to register. Thank you, Kim.
So our OUC Online family, for those of you guys who are not in Huntsville, that's an event that won't be streamed. It'll be live and in living color here on the campus here at the church. Okay.
Yes, and unfortunately for our men's ministry, we were supposed to have a prostate cancer awareness event, but because of
Tomorrow.
the weather, that was postponed. But we'll get back with you with that. But for the couples, we are having an evening of romance. And that will take place on February the 10th. We call it Burning Love because you always want to keep the love burning and keep
Hot.
the flames going,
On
hot
fire.
and going. That's right. And so, guys, this is an event that you have to register for too. So you can scan the QR code to register. And this will be at the Oakwood Community Health Action Center. So you have to register. There's going to be music, food, entertainment, guys.
Yes.
So
Yes, and you know,
Just
and
come
even
in-
and
come
even
on
for
out to
you,
support.
and even for the relationships that are budding, like if you want to know
That's
how
right.
marriage looks, like if you guys are thinking about getting married or fiance, sometimes we say, "Oh, I got to be married to come to this event." Well, we encourage all the married people to come, but I think it's great with people who are engaged, so they can see how this thing really looks, how it works.
Oh, wow.
So come
That's
join us.
right. Come join
Come
us.
join us February what, babe?
February the 10th.
Yes.
The 10th. I almost
Yes.
forgot it.
Yes.
But Denise says tickets are sold out.
We got to look.
We
Denise.
have to check. And
Sold
are you
out maybe for the women's
Are
event?
you asking if tickets are sold out
Yes.
for women's ministry? I don't think so. So just make sure you go online. And I hate that that wasn't the correct flyer, but
Yeah.
go on Oakwood's website. It is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that all the PAs, anything?
That's
public
all of it.
announcements?
That's all of it.
Okay.
And guys, one last thing. Okay, we have committed and covered, but this year we have some other 2 new shows that will also fall under committed and covered. 2 new podcasts, the women's ministry. We're going to have the Pink Couch. And then also our singles ministry called Living Single. If you remember the show back in the day with Queen Latifah,
Oh, yeah.
Living a Single. So stay tuned, guys. Family Ministry has a lot of new things coming and
And then
happening.
on Friday nights, Hadassah Darlington does.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And every first and third Friday night.
For
we have
parenting.
for parenting.
Yes.
We have a parenting Zoom session where parents are coming together talking about, how to raise these kids. Like, what are you going through? Because oftentimes we're in silos and we, when we have community stronger together, we get ideas on how to raise these kids. What can we do?
Yes.
And so every first and third Friday evenings at 7:30.
Yes.
That's also on the e-newsletter, guys.
All of this is in the e-newsletter that comes out. If you don't have that e-newsletter, just go on our website and get it. Now, Denise said that it's the event on the 10th of February that is saying it's sold out
It's
when
sold
you tried
out.
to register.
Let me go and look. Let me go and check because that meant it sold out between 3 days ago. So let me just go and check. And Denise,
and we have
email
an
me. Email me.
What's our email?
Family Ministries. oucsda.com. Family Ministries at oucsda.org. I'm so sorry. .org.
Yes.
That's a new one. So
maybe our IT guy can type it in.
And I will
OUC. Okay.
Family Ministries at oucsda.org.
Okay.
Okay, and Denise, reach out, and I will definitely go and check that when we get home to see if it is sold out event. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank
you. Hey
guys.
We just want to tell you, 2024, God is with us. Don't stress. Don't strain. Work it out with your faith because God loves us. He's coming back again, and we thank you for joining us tonight. Spread the word, guys, on what the ministries we have going on here. And we just love you guys so much too, okay?
That's right. And we're stronger together.
Stronger together. All right, let's pray before we close. Dear Lord, we just want to thank you so much for your mercy and your grace. And we ask that you be with us through this new day, new week that's coming up on us, Lord, tomorrow. And just bless every single one of us, Lord. But most of all, save us when you come. Thank you. Amen. And we love you, Jesus. Amen. Love you guys. Bye-bye.